What's going on, legend? But welcome back to Beyond the 90. As you can see, we're not in our regular location. I'm actually in London at the moment, just seeing some friends and things like that. So I've not been able to get a match reaction. However, I did manage to watch the game yesterday, so I'm going to give you some of my thoughts and also the whole situation because, my God, there's a situation about Sensei, there's a situation about what Enzo has said. There's loads of different things. So I want to kind of wrap that up as well as put in the 5-0 and make sure you're filled in terms of my thoughts as well. So again, thank you guys for being patient with me. Again, I try and get as many post matches done as possible, but then I have to have a little bit of break as well. So coming back to the game and things like that, so it was a lot on it. Looking at formation, we knew that they were going to start with 3 at the back, and then we were thinking, okay, probably Yunus is going to come in. He didn't. McAteer played that number 8, and I thought, oh my God, what is he doing? But at the same time, looking at there's a couple of things that came into mind. One, I don't know if they're completely convinced by Yunus. I know that people have been reported on it before, but the manager, that was a perfect opportunity to play him. And he didn't play a single minute in that game. McAteer played, I think he did all right in that number 8 position. But looking at that attacking lineup, I know Daka doesn't. People are really hit and miss about Daka. Just like he's in front of goal. Completely, like very Iheanacho when he first started. But he's got something different about Iheanacho where Iheanacho doesn't squander chances as much. He just fumbles and then doesn't put but then when he has a shot on target, he puts it away. Daka starts, but the front 5 were, potentially even Ricardo in that, were unbelievably impressive. Like, thinking, right, we're going to go for that team. McAteer and KDH, obviously KDH speaks for itself. Mavididi on the left, Fatau comes straight back in to the team on the right. I think they all just kind of clicked together. The position that I thought, again, when we were playing the first minute, we were all over them from minute 1. I think it was a bit naive for Stoke to set up in the way they did. However, this is the kind of football they played, and I think their Plymouth, who was a previous Plymouth manager, was saying something similar. And the Plymouth fans were saying, look, you've got to be pragmatic at times, and we can't win against these kind of teams. Overall, really impressed with the performance. You have to be after winning 5-0. And to be fair, 5-0 was quite... There was a few more... We could have won 6, 7, 8... I don't know because you're on 9-0, but there was a few opportunities that we completely missed. Daka missed a few opportunities. I think KDH squandered one. The goalkeeper made some good saves to keep him out as well. But they were sharing the goals around the pitch. You look at the scores at the moment, coming at the end of the game. Jamie Vardy's on 10, Mavididi's on 10, and Keenan Dewsbury Hall's on 10. After that, Daka and a few others are on 6 as well. So it shows you that when I've been talking to other people about football... Dewsbury Hall's been amazing, Mavididi's been amazing, because they look at the scores and assists, and I'm like, they are, but it's the whole system in general that's working. Coming into kind of back to the game, it was just rampant. It was just kind of controlled it from minute 1. There was a few opportunities where they got through on goal, but again, Ricardo was cleaning up, Fast was cleaning up, and overall, I was just really impressed. There wasn't really too much to analyse in terms of that. What was interesting is that, again, it's the first time we've seen McAteer with the hot head. That could have been a red. You look what happened to... I don't mind it because he's a young player, but you look what happened to Fatau. Might be something similar what happened to McAteer. I'm glad that Enzo brought him off at 45 minutes because that was an opportunity to go, look, you're on what we call a hard, beyond a yellow, but kind of an orange card. One more mistake like that, you're off. And Enzo spotted that and made the substitution at half-time, which I was glad about. And the fact that Vestergaard came off and Nelson came on, Nelson looked great. 19 years old, got the right stature. He just feels like he's mature beyond his age. Beyond the 90. That's us. BBC Radio Leicester did something with him, an interview, and it just seemed like, I was like, wow, I wish I was that mature at 19 years old. Really screwed on, really knows what he's doing. Good build, can play with either feet, can press really well as well, and can play anywhere in the back 3. It's the first time we saw that back 3, and with Vestergaard out of the team, you would have thought, oh, Cody's going to come in. The fact that he put Fast in the middle, and then he put Doyle and Nelson either side, both of them are like 19, 20 years old, and Fast is only like 24, 25, but he's got the leadership qualities. And also, there wasn't really a defence that they had to just hang on there. So you think about it that way, Cody should have probably come on if Vestergaard's coming off, but he put Nelson on. And I'm really glad that he did. And then, obviously, McAteer came off, and Pratt came on, who Pratt had a decent game, but without sounding too bad, I thought he had a 7 out of 10 game, but I forgot he was on the pitch just because everybody else was so good. He got in a couple of good positions. Again, the last touch of the game, could have scored another goal, but hit it the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper knocked it over. And a couple of other things I want to mention. When we talk about Waltfast, did really well in this game. I was actually watching this with Anil, so shout out Anil, thanks for letting me watch it with you. And we were talking about, I'm not sure, get your thoughts in the comments what you think of this. I don't know if he's going to go forward with Waltfast into the Premier League. Anil seems to think he is. I'm not convinced. Because we've been looking at a left-footed centre-back as another option, I don't know if they're going to do that. But now we can say play through the middle as well. And we can play who in the middle? Obviously, Vestergaard is one, Cody is another, Fast a third. I think Nelson can play as a middle three as well. And yeah, so for the third goal, he made the run. If you watched Beyond the 90 for a while, you've probably seen that I've talked about the obligatory bingo card, Waltfast run through the middle. And he did it for the third goal, and he won the foul, and we got the penalty from it for the third goal, which was great. So hopefully he can do that a little bit more. But obviously it takes time and people to kind of go, right, if he's going to go, who's going to step in behind? So obviously we don't want to leave ourselves exposed. There was a time and place. But at that time, bearing in mind, it was Nelson and Doyle, which were the centre-backs. And Fast was just running up the pitch. But overall, dominant display throughout. But this is what you're going to get from Daka. He'll score 2 goals. I know one was a penalty and one was a tap-in. But they get you goals. And people have talked about the minutes per goal ratio, and rightfully so, because Daka's been sensational. Jamie Vardy's only 3 points behind. I think at the time of recording, from the statistics I remember, Pastor Daka's on 104 and Jamie Vardy's on 109. Jamie Vardy was incredible in the game. When he came on for Daka, making the great runs, missed an absolute skied opportunity, which was very unlike Jamie Vardy. He could have had a hat-trick in this game, and so could Pastor Daka. But we are creating opportunities and we're scoring them, which is great. Coming into this kind of game, there were certain things that wasn't certain things I wasn't impressed with. Obviously, the Sensei signing. Now, if you look on Twitter and things like that, everybody's having an absolute meltdown. There is points I can understand, and we should have done better. And Rudkin does deserve some backlash from how he's handled this situation, because it was on the Leicester City side, it wasn't on the Inter side. But at the same time, because, for example, it should have got the deal done. But the problem was, we are ending the window weaker than we started, because we lost Cassidy, because we've lost another goalkeeper who's gone to Stoke now. It is made a bit weaker. So I'm not completely disheartened, but at the same time, it's like the warning signs are there. Enzo wasn't happy if you looked at his comments. We'll talk about this later. He was frustrated. And we should have probably got that deal done. However, we're still in a strong position. We're still, I think, going to go up this season. It puts us in a really strong position in 72 points at the moment to go up. And another thing as well around Enzo calling out the fans, which I'm 100% behind Enzo. There is a certain portion of fans that are in the ground that I just don't understand, that I've never seen supporting this club. Not in terms of the age, in terms of the mentality. Like last year I understood why we were crap and people were just miserable, silent, all these kind of things that are there. Miserable, horrible, silent, whatever. This year, they're not getting, we are in probably the best position that we've ever been in. I've not seen Brendan Rodgers get this criticism. I've not seen Nigel Pearson get this criticism. Claude Puwelding get this criticism. For me, it's just, I don't know if it's just me. Leave your thoughts, but I've never seen a manager get this much criticism for doing this well. Obviously, things need changing up. Obviously, Enzo's come in and done magnificently well. But where are all these people that are hating? I don't understand. And when I was at the game on Tuesday, just looking at some of the fans going, they're silent, and before, it was more of a raucous atmosphere. People would let you know if you're doing great. And you know when people are crunching, tackling, which we don't really do as much now, but there was a lot of applause. Yeah, get the fans outside. Some fans would just be like, yeah, okay. And then when it's negative, they really sign up. I'm like, why you? If you want to be that extra criticizer, you've got to be positive when things go well. And it seems like some people just want to moan. Oh, I don't like it. Well, sure, you can not like it, but you can still back the team. Enzo was really frustrated. And I think part of it is because we had 3 home games in a row. Look, I think you guys know, I'm behind this squad, I'm behind this team, and I know they're going to go far and go do some good stuff. But unfortunately, Enzo's done all that he can, but he's been let down. I think by the fan base. I don't think that was the same case as the away fans. The away fans were there singing his name, and they put on the screen, which I love, top in. Rudkin out, Enzo in, and then they managed to put it on Leicester City Fox's Hub, which I thought was hilarious. They briefly planned to that. I was like, that's hilarious with the banner. But I can understand the front fans' frustration from Rudkin, but we're all behind Enzo. The certain fan base, I don't know what the solution is, but they need to figure this out. Because what we've just done can't keep happening. Because Enzo will walk, and we're just back to square one. Because I'm 100% behind what he's doing. Has he got everything right? No. When he made substitutions that didn't make sense, we've criticised it. But I'm saying we're nearly there. We're nearly getting there in the right direction. So, overall, dominant display. On to the next game. And we're just, I think we're on a run now of the next few games we've got, like Sheffield Wednesday and things like that, are easy-ish fixtures that can work in our favour. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. But another dominant display. Credit to the team. I think again, Matau was good. Mavididi did have a little bit of an off day, but because he set his levels at 9 out of 10, I think he had like a 7 or an 8. But that's because he's been so good in the last few games. Doyle, I think, came in and deputised well. Winks was I loved his ability to get forward as well, especially late on in the game. Ricardo was great. It was a 5-0 performance. We've not seen that domination since the 9-0 against Southampton. And it could have been another 9-0, just because of the opportunities we created if we were a bit more clinical. But that's my thoughts on the game. Let me know what you think of the comments down below. We'll see you for the next game. I'll see you in the next video, so goodbye.